All right, welcome back, free radicals of all shapes, sizes, colors, denominations, orientations, educations, and anyone else who doesn't really fall into any of those categories, just garden variety refugees from the political system who are floating along. You've grabbed onto your raft and you're hoping that someone will come along with some ideas and actually rescue you. Good luck. You got two candidates. You got, well, three. We'll throw Andrew Yang a bone in this video. I think there's no question that even though I don't agree with Yang, especially on foreign policy, he's talked about... Funny thing is, Yang has talked favorably about the Russian hoax, which of course this Joy Reid tweet that's what it's all about, right? Hey, do you agree with MSNBC, the first hour of our debate? Do you agree that Russia is the biggest threat? No, I think maybe like our economy, the climate, you could name a whole bunch of things. Ourselves, the banking system. It's just funny. They put Russia on the top. Look, is it wrong for me I woke up as a little kid to, duck and cover and all that, like a cloud of nuclear debris coming at you, and supposedly that's gonna save you? Duck and cover? No, duck and cover, I think, was a nice way for the government to say, well, before you're incinerated, at least you won't see it coming, and, you'll vaporize and you won't even feel it, or you won't even know it. Something like that. And those are the days where there was a little bit more of a threat. You had a full-strength communist regime over there. It was still red baiting. It was still scaring people, maybe with a little bit more merit to it than now, especially now. I don't see Putin as this grand thing that's looming over us that's going to destroy us. But yet this is the narrative. And the funny thing is, this narrative was hatched election night 2016 when Donald Trump was projected to win this election. This thing was hatched in the wee hours of the morning. They're still counting votes, but there's no plausible way Hillary Clinton was going to win the election at that point. And they were calling it for Trump, and people were sitting there dumbfounded and so forth. Look, I don't want Donald Trump to win re-election. But I'm getting to the point where if these guys, they would prefer Trump to be elected, I would say, I'm just going to throw this out there and you guys can disagree, Trump is probably better to have than Biden. Trump is probably better than Warren. Trump is probably better than Harris. Now, if you just think he's a racist, bigot, homophobe, whatever, look, I think all of that stuff has been played in a way, again, to just get all of these neoliberals riled up. But all of these neoliberals kind of want their portfolio to just keep doing what it's doing. They want the stock market, they want Wall Street to keep doing what it's been doing, and they don't really care about you and me. They don't care about the little guy. They don't care about my wife's enormous student loan debt. Oh, she shouldn't have taken the loans. She was told she'd be paid so much when she got out that the loans wouldn't be a burden to her for very long. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. So let's get to this goofy graph that Joy Reid... Look at Joy Reid's profile picture. Hey, I'm Joy Reid. I'm part of the military-industrial complex. I'm helpful to the establishment. I'm also a woman of color, too, and I could throw that out there, too. And I red bait people. Isn't that cool? I'm so tired of the skin color and the just always emphasizing. Tulsi Gabbard, who's on the bottom of this chart, okay, because apparently she's most favorable with the Russians. This is basically put out to prove, Hillary Clinton's point. She's a favorite of the Russians. She's being groomed to be a third-party candidate. A spoiler. See, you know what Hillary was trying to do there? She's already trying, preemptively, she's already trying to blame Russia and blame Tulsi Gabbard because Gabbard supposedly sabotaged her the last time because she walked off that stage and she wouldn't endorse Hillary Clinton. And she went out and campaigned for Bernie Sanders. Bernie, like a good Democrat, even though he's not a Democrat, went out and campaigned for Hillary Clinton. Isn't it cool, by the way, that Bernie is not a Democrat? He's an independent, and, he's running in the Democratic primary and so forth. But that's the one cool thing about Bernie Sanders, is he has an I in front of his name, and a lot of Democrats. See, this is the other narrative. Well, Tulsi Gabbard, she just doesn't like Democrats. She's, she's pissing on the party. Donald Trump won the nomination in the Republican Party for going after the party establishment. People liked that. People said, you know what I like about Trump? I may not agree with everything, but he's trying to blow the whole thing up. And he kind of did in the election, and they still can't get over it. And the news cycle just keeps going 24/7. We've got the impeachment hearings. Even mainstream commentators now are like, this is boring. This isn't going anywhere. Go ahead, impeach him in the House. You know that Mitch McConnell, by the way, is going to make the lives of all of these people, and this will include Bernie Sanders, by the way, because he has bought into the narrative. He's going to make every senator who is running for president right now, look at Sanders, Warren, and Harris, those three people, and more, Amy Klobuchar. It's going to be difficult for those people not to be in the Senate 6 days a week. How are they going to campaign? This would really hurt Bernie Sanders. I think Bernie should knock off the whole Russiagate thing if he wants to really gain some momentum, as he can say, look, you guys figure this out. I'm not going to hang in the Senate during this entire hearing. I don't know if he'll be, found in contempt of court or something, because they try to run it like a court, and I have no idea how that'll work out. But it just shows what's happening, and that's going to favor Biden. It'll favor Mayor Pete more, because Biden obviously has got some real issues with just his cognitive abilities these days. So look at this. Let's quickly look at this. Biden's got a 3% favorable from the Russians. So the Russians don't like Joe Biden, 53% unfavorable. Sanders, 19% favorable, okay, which is significantly higher than the 5 people they put on this chart. It's funny how they chose 2 progressives and 3 neocons. And of course, Biden's on top. Russians don't really like Biden. And according to Joy Reid, that's a good thing. Russia mentions of Democratic candidates. Can you believe that we're having this discussion in the year 2019 in America? It's just crazy. So Tulsi Gabbard wins, or she loses, depending on how you want to look at it. Tulsi is has a 46% favorable with the Russians. By the way, still hasn't broken the 50%. So typically, in an election, if Tulsi was to run for something over in Russia, she would probably still lose. Anyway, 44% neutral. By the way, she got the same neutral rating as Joe Biden, if you notice. 44 and 44. And only 10% unfavorable. So look, Tulsi, she's the one. And this is from RT and Sputnik, by the way. RT and Sputnik, who have reporters in the United States who are on these channels because they were fired from channels like MSNBC. Or they couldn't get work and decided to go work for RT. And RT has said, you guys want free speech? Go for it. Sputnik, too. You want some free speech? We're not going to regulate what you say and do, and they don't. They really don't. Do you think any of those independent thinkers would put up with somebody saying, look, you can't say that? See, and this is the difference. MSNBC wants to regulate what you hear. RT and Sputnik do not do that. And so that is why if you take information from those two platforms, those two news sources, you're going to find independent thinkers who are going to like Gabbard and Sanders and Andrew Yang. By the way, should throw him in there. But they're not going to like Biden. They're not going to like Warren. And they're not going to like Harris. And those 3 especially are disliked. Harris, Warren, and Biden. And those 3 candidates, I think, have the worst chance to match up against Donald Trump. Funny, Harris has been polling like at the bottom of everything now, and then all of a sudden we gotta prop her up again. She got toasted at that last debate. She looks petty. She looks like she's going way out of her way to go after Tulsi Gabbard, and all they got is Assad, Assad, Assad. You know, they went from Russia, Russia, Russia with Trump to Assad, Assad, Assad with Tulsi. And, you know, some Americans are waking up. The problem is there are quite a few Americans who aren't woke in that regard. And, you know, the term woke obviously has taken on some negative characteristics. I would say, you know what you need to be woke to? This media crap. This right here. See this bull? This is stupid, okay? And the fact that they would even put this out there, again, it's like, well, if she's got, again, I keep saying this to other pundits too, if she's got no chance, why are you so concerned about her? If she's, you know, she's only polling 1 to 2% nationally, I don't even understand why she's still on the debate stage. Why can't we get the governor of Montana on there? Look, you're going to have Mike Bloomberg. He's going to spend a fortune. I don't know how he's going to get donors. I mean, they might have to change the DNC rules to say, well, you know, if you got your own money, we're okay with it too. You know, because I'm sure at this late stage, the DNC can move the goalpost around for Deval Patrick and Bloomberg and Tom Steyer, who's already spending tons of his own money. Look, Tom Steyer can throw out bait all day long. Please, give me $1, give me $1. Because that's all you have to do with Tom Steyer. Just give him $1, and then he's got like $50 to match your $1. It's really incredible how that guy, again, I'm still concerned about him because he's another corporatist, and they're flooding the zone with corporatists. You've got Biden, Warren, Harris, Mayor Pete, who's really their darling, even though nationally he's polling at like 4 or 7%, depending on what poll you look at. He's doing horribly with African American voters, minority voters in general, and that will continue. Look, Trump will win. Trump will beat Mayor Pete with minorities, or he'll get like a plurality where you'll be thinking, this is impossible. Well, again, if you let the DNC pick the nominee again, of course the candidate's going to lose. A candidate with no ideas to help the working people of the country, who's basically run his city into the ground, or at least has kind of like just, you know, wound it up and walked away and said, hey, it's great. We're doing great in South Bend. Really? South Bend, Indiana? And that makes you ready to be the president of the United States? I need to breathe. Listen, folks, here's the deal. All right? This stuff is just going to keep ramping up. By the way, I think Tulsi, from what I understand, was about 3,000 unique donors away from getting to the December debate. And, oh my gosh, like that Politico article that I commented on the other day, heads will continue to explode. You're extreme. Your positions are extreme. Yes, peace has now become extreme. Folks, look, I used to be a Trump supporter. I'm never going back to Trump. All right? But here's my theory. If this continues the way it is, there are going to be some people that say, screw it. Either I'm not going to vote or I'll vote for Trump. All right? Because who's going to have more restraint when it comes to some of these foreign conflicts? Now, I'm not saying Trump is really doing anything in that regard, but his instinct isn't to, blow things up. He wanted to deal with Kim, and Bolton sabotaged it, and that's why Bolton got fired by Trump. It was a great day. It's a great day in America when... Now, Bolton shouldn't have been hired in the first place. So, again, that's why I'm really frustrated with Trump. The fact that he lets Jared Kushner and Ivanka help him decide foreign policy, really a disaster and shouldn't even be talked about. By the way, Mayor Pete is in complete agreement with Trump when it comes to maybe sending some of our troops into Mexico. So you put Mayor Pete in the Oval, you're going to get mostly the same foreign policy you're getting now. And my expression for this is a Democrat who's a corporatist gets a blank check for the military. You write the check, Mayor Pete. You write it. If you want us to go to Libya, we're going to Libya. If you want us, and they'll do it, and the media will go along with it and say, yes, we need to be engaged all over the planet. This is what we do now. And we're all comfortable with it as Democrats. Before, we used to kind of advocate for peace and to bring some troops home, but no more. This is the way we make our money as a news outfit. MSNBC, CBS, the whole gang, CNN. This is how they make money, folks. They have television shows that glorify the violence and everything that we're doing. It makes for really great, compelling storylines. And if you eliminate that, or if you draw that down, it's going to hurt the economy. It really is. Because we built our entire economy on the military-industrial complex. It's that simple. It's not difficult. So, to see Tulsi Gabbard here, the favorite, here it is. This will validate what Hillary Clinton says. See? See this poll? I don't know. She says she has no connection to the Russians, yet Sputnik and RT are talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, it's because it's independent news, and they tend to like independent-minded candidates, and they'll report on them because you guys don't report on them. See how that works? You want some coverage? Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson. Guess where you have to go for that coverage? Either RT, Sputnik, or YouTube, or Rockfin. All right? So there you have it, folks, my video. And again, thanks for supporting this channel. Thanks for subscribing. Also, check me out over on Rockfin. I've got exclusive content over there that's not over here. If you haven't supported me yet, I need the help. I'm looking for either a couple of bucks a month over on Patreon, or possibly even a one-time donation via PayPal, which is pretty easy to do. Just send it through your own PayPal account to mine. And I've got some donations the last couple of days, not too many, but a few, and I really appreciate those as we head into Thanksgiving week. The kids are going to be home for part of this, so content's going to be hard for me to push out, but I'm going to do my best when the kids are napping or playing outside or something. I'm going to find a way to do it. So there you have it, another video in the can, and Tulsi Gabbard, again, being skewered by people that are, best I can say is these people are very afraid that a populist candidate will catch on. And if her and Bernie have this 1-2 punch, it's going to be tough for them to ignore. And they are going to look so silly when one of these two candidates comes out on top and actually wins the Democratic Party nomination. Now, of course, there's this theory that I have that the DNC is not going to let either Tulsi or Bernie win this. But we're going to keep plugging away as if we can take the thing over. Because Tulsi thinks we can, Bernie thinks we can, so let's just give it our all and see what happens. We've got no other choices. We've got no other independent candidates running really worth anything over in the Green or Libertarian parties right now. And I'm full speed ahead for Tulsi Gabbard, and you should be too. If you haven't given to her campaign, folks, she needs $1, okay? $1. She needs 3,000 more unique donations to get to the December debate, and those people are going to be, I almost said something I don't typically, but bricks are going to be coming out of a certain part of their anatomy. We'll just say that. That's family friendly, right? All right. See you all soon.